Hey everyone, Steve Brzezinski here. Got some backup today, so you may see them come in and out. Today's episode is complaining about the algorithms, and kind of specifically what I mean. So for me, it's a case of, I have fans that really like Carousel, that really like me, and they follow my social media, they follow my Twitter, they follow my Facebook, and yet, to this day, there are still people that are like, oh, I had no idea there was a Carousel 2. Like, just had no idea that Carousel 2 existed. Now, I have posted about Carousel 2 everywhere. It has been the banner for the Silver Spotlight Facebook page since release. It was my banner on my personal page for a while. I posted about it on Twitter when it came out physically, when it came out digitally, every single screening that it's had, when it was on Tubi for the first time, and then when Carousel 1 got back onto Tubi, I again talked about Carousel 2. I talked about Carousel 2 literally as much as possible, and anyone that is a fan of mine should have seen all of that. And yet, so many people, again, and it's not like, oh, they all found out last month or anything like that. I mean, consistently when I post about Carousel 2 again, there will at least be one person that says, oh, I had no idea this was out, and I don't know what to do with that. You know what I mean? I have done as much as I can to let everyone know that Carousel 2 exists, and yet, my fans, the ones that care the most about Carousel 2 existing, that's Gideon. The ones that care the most about Carousel 2 existing, somehow couldn't find out that it existed. Absinthe has also showed up. Hey baby, how you doing? They're just gonna keep circling the camera, so don't mind them. Just go ahead and listen to me. Now I don't even know exactly what I was saying. Okay, so it was the people that care the most about Carousel 2 existing somehow couldn't find out about Carousel 2. Like the ones that are the most targeted for this movie still have gone months or even over a year of seeing not a single post about Carousel 2. So what does that mean for an indie creator? What are we supposed to do when even our own fans... Everything look good there, Gideon? This is falling apart. I've made a mistake. I'm going to leave this all in. Okay, oh no. There we go. Okay. So maybe the dogs will get more clicks. God damn it. What am I supposed to do when the algorithm won't even allow the people that subscribe to my stuff, that are friends with me, that follow my stuff, and actively want to know about this information, but still they don't see the posts? What is the hope of ever finding, new fans when you can't even get to the fans you already have? What can we even possibly do with that? And at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil this. This is another episode where I don't have an answer, and I don't know what we can possibly do. But this is just me venting because it's disheartening. It is so disheartening when, you try to do everything right. You get to the fan base, you get to the fans, you give them what they want, what they've been asking for, and they don't even know that it exists. And on one hand, I will say that it is a little frustrating because I do feel like these fans could have found out if they just were looking at this stuff actively instead of just waiting on it to show up on the timeline. Now we got some cats. This is going to be the best episode. If you, for example, if you were a person that cared a lot about Carousel 2 and you wanted it, why wouldn't you, click on any of my social medias even once? Because again, like I posted that like if you went to any of my pages, it was the first thing you saw. But again, I don't want to blame people completely. You know, it's not people's fault to even majority or entirely, like even half, because again, why isn't the algorithm on any of these social media websites? Because again, I'm talking about Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Like, I'm not just posting on one place. How is it that none of these social media campaigns, it's not campaigns, like websites, are able to show the fans these posts? Am I doing something wrong? I don't think so. You know, I'm using the right hashtags, I'm posting at the right times, you know, I'm keeping wordage down, you know, I'm getting a lot of reactions to these posts too. Like sometimes, you know, like well into the 3 figures, which is pretty good for an indie movie. But so many people still don't see them at all. And again, like how are we, like, and you got people using ad blocker, you got people basically hating any form of advertisement, and yet they aren't able to see the non-advertising posts that are just like legitimate posts. What else is there? You know, you don't want ads, you don't want visual ads, you don't want photo ads, you just want word of mouth, but the algorithm seems to prevent word of mouth from being a viable choice. Hello, Gideon. Oh god. Gideon is jealous that I'm petting the cat. Good boy. Just licking my shirt. Okay. I'm covered in dog saliva, which is fantastic. No complaints. I'm amazed that he didn't fuck up the camera. But I don't know. I just feel like I'm stuck. You know, I feel like I do everything right, and it doesn't matter because we are just dictated by the algorithm. You know, what these websites decide to show off, and I don't know what to do with that. You know, that's I will say, if there's one piece of advice I can give at all, this is what conventions still are great for. You know, like some people will say, why do you still do cons? Do you still do well at cons? And it's like, yeah, I don't sell as much at cons as I used to. Absolutely don't. You know, less people. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I know. I got you. Oh no. Okay. This is gonna be bad. Oh, this poor cat. I'm glad I have this visual on camera now. I keep losing my train of thought. Are you okay? Okay. Yeah, so, since we can't depend on advertising, since we can't depend on word of mouth, since we can't even depend on our social media posts, the last thing we can do that's kind of like in our control and not dependent on some AI or, you know, moderator on a social media post or whatever, is we need to keep doing conventions. We need to keep doing horror conventions, comic conventions, sci-fi conventions, any sort of convention that you have access to locally, that you're able to travel to, whether it's by driving or flying. You're okay now. That's the thing where we 100% are able to actually talk to a human being face to face and point at what movies exist now. And the hope is that they will, you know, react positively, that they'll pick up the movies, that they'll watch them, that they'll tell their friends about the movies, whatever. But like that's the only, and I have a ton of fans that don't know my movies exist until they see me at a con. And again, these are people that follow me on every social media, and yet they'll have no idea that I made a new film or that a film that came out last year came out at all. And that's why I do think that conventions will never go out of style for independent creators. You know, regardless of digital being the thing to do, regardless of, you know, more people just streaming or paying to rent digitally or whatever, you know, as the number of people that buy stuff physically go down, At the end of the day, talking to someone face-to-face at a convention seems to be keeps seeming like the best way to make new fans, at the very least. Like, maybe your dedicated fans most of them will still find you online, see your post, buy online, stream, whatever. But when it comes to making new fans, time and time again, it's either they by chance see it on Tubi, which is a terrible way to depend on getting new fans. It works out sometimes, like Meowing Halloween. Carousel definitely got new fans because the algorithm just was going in my direction, was, scratching a niche that needed scratched or what have you. Or it's conventions. Like, those seem to be the only two ways I actually make new fans. Consistently, at least. Like, I know people post on horror groups my stuff when they like it, and that's a positive word of mouth. But again, even that is based on the algorithm. Not everyone sees those posts in those groups. So what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? I don't know. My only advice here is conventions still matter. But that's not really an answer, and I don't know what to do when it comes to making the algorithm work better for us. There's the basic advice, like keep, minimal words on the photos, use good hashtags, post at the peak times online, hope for shares, don't put an URL in the post, don't put a URL like anywhere unless it's in the comments or in your profile, and even then, that's its own thing. I've posted images for Steve Buster. It's just like, hey, Steve Buster, $2.99 a month, come subscribe. And it gets a lot of reactions, and I'll have people in the comments being like, oh, I wish you put a URL in the post. I'm more likely to go somewhere if there's a URL for me to click on. And I explain to all of them every time, if I put a URL in this post, you wouldn't have seen this post, because the algorithm doesn't like URLs in posts. It likes pictures. So I put the URL in the picture, and if you can't type stevebuster.com, I don't know what to do if you got that much of an issue with like just typing. So I try to put the URL in the comments at least, so there's something for people to click on, but even that seems to affect the algorithm. There's a lot. Like, there's more than I understand, there's more than I even know, and I'm not exactly sure, again, like all the best ways to solve this. But I guess we just got to keep going with what we got. So yeah, I guess go with that takeaway. No URLs in the post, peak times, and definitely still do conventions. Go out, meet people, meet new people, meet fans, start those relationships. Like I said on my last episode, it's one of the perks with independent creators is that one-on-one sort of being able to talk directly to someone as the creator. I don't... Good job, Gideon. Oh, yeah, you're a good boy. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here before everything goes to hell even more. Oh, I riled him up. SteveBuster.com, SilverSpotlightFilms.com. Please support me. I love you all.